Well, good morning. This isn't what I was hoping for. I'm at the train station in Basingstoke. Last night, left Brooklands. I got onto the M25. Car died. So 2.5 hours to get from Brooklands to Basingstoke, which typically is about a 20-minute drive. Stayed at my brother's last night. And then today, travelling home. I stink because I've got the same clothes I've had on for the last day. And I've got my laptop and I've got some pillows. And then I've arranged to get a train and that car's going to get recovered. It'll get collected tomorrow, delivered back. But let's make a little train journey. I hate public transport. That's why I do car channels. Fun. 16 seconds late. Let's do this then. Public transport.
And make sure you've got all your luggage and personal belongings with you. Wolverhampton next station following you.
First train done. What a nightmare that was. There was nowhere to sit for ages. So I'm heading now to try and change the platform. It did say the final stop is Glasgow. So as long as I don't fall asleep, it should be okay. So I need to get to platform 1, Glasgow Central. It's getting here in 9 minutes, and then I can head on my merry way. But I don't understand these. I did find a seat eventually at the first few stops. I had to stand. So from Basingstoke to Oxford, I stood standing and going backwards as well. That was horrible. Train, so I shouldn't be half an hour-ish. I'm done. There you go. Right, I'm in Flynn. End of the public transport ordeal. What a nightmare. In the butt. I will never ever moan about a car again, especially electric ones. Oh,
okay.
Public transport is the worst.
Yeah, but we got here.
I feel much happier now that I am back home, although my voice is gone. So I'm hoping I'm not getting ill, although everyone else here is ill, so it's only a matter of time. The trip itself was pretty painless. I I just don't like it. So I've arranged for my car to be collected. It's currently in Basingstoke. I had to abandon it there. It's currently being collected tomorrow, and then going to travel back up here for a fraction of the cost of the recovery from the likes of RAC, the AA and Green Flag. Green Flag actually were the cheapest to come and collect me from the side of the road at £900. The AA wanted £1,900 and the RAC wanted £2,000, because they said you get 10 miles of collection included, and anything after that is £4.50 a mile for, I think the AA was. So I will be looking into potentially taking out some form of breakdown recovery. Ideally something we can have like a multi-car policy, like maybe my wife and myself can have a, so if we ever get stranded again we can sort it. But yeah, 3 separate trains. It's very, very busy. Thankfully actually, Basingstoke to Wolverhampton, the train before me was cancelled and the train after me was cancelled, which meant that there was absolutely no room on the train. So luckily mine was okay. The train from Wolverhampton to Crewe was very busy. I did manage to find a seat. And then the train from Crewe to Chester, although to Flint, was very busy again, but I was one of the first ones on, managed to get a seat, and I was all right. I managed to get a seat with a table too. So on the whole, it went very well, or at least to plan. Just tomorrow get the car back, and then I start the investigation work to work out what on earth happened and why I had all these error messages. Well, one error message, engine overheating, stop safely. So there's a number of things that it could be on the Kuga. It's just had a cam belt and water pump, so I'm hoping it's not going to be anything to do with that. Water is circulating around the engine. It could be an airlock. It could be like a friend of mine said it could be a blockage in the EGR valve cooler, which is a potential because the coolant does go through there. It could be a faulty sensor. The reason I think it's potentially like something like a sensor is because it went to 120 degrees, you turned the engine off and turned it back on and it went to 90. So if it was 120 degrees, the temperature would have gone to 120. The fact that you stopped it, went back, it only went to 90, to me would suggest that there's an issue. The issue is electrical related rather than physically related, and then it sent the car to limp mode. Right, frustratingly, I've just gone to edit this video and it turns out it cut very abruptly. Basically, the car's getting delivered home. I need to then check it over and see what's what. Initial thoughts are electrical, but it could be mechanical. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get the car recovered home. I'm using a company I've used previously. I think they're called UK Car Transport. Really reliable, really good guys, and they should be hopefully delivering the car tomorrow. So I'll be back in again in a couple of days once I work out what's going on. Hopefully give you an update and hopefully be able to rectify this without massive expense of a garage. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you've enjoyed my public transport escapades. And other than that, it's really cold out here. So I will see you soon. Take it easy.